Alien Isolation is a first-person survival horror game set in the world of Ridley Scott's award-winning horror film, Alien. It puts the player in the shoes of Amanda Ripley, the daughter of Ellen Ripley, 15 years after her mother went missing. When the game begins, Amanda discovers that the flight recorder of her mother's ship, the Nostromo, has been found and is aboard the space station Sevastopol in her region. Learning this news, Amanda embarks with a small crew to retrieve the flight recorder in the hopes of learning the fate of her mother. When trying to board Sevastopol Station, an explosion causes her to be separated from the rest of the crew, engrossing the player with a sense of vulnerability and seclusion. Alien Isolation captures the sense of terror and beauty just like Ridley Scott's original film, and then expands it in a way that can only be done through a video game. Sevastopol Station is an enormous supply depot that has recently begun decommissioning. Much of its population has since relocated, leaving the station with few inhabitants. This desolate post is where the majority of the game is played. The open-world nature of the station makes exploration and discovery significantly enjoyable. This non-linear aspect, along with the ability to choose how to handle a situation, give the game a certain level of replayability not seen in many survival horror games. Every minute spent in the vicinity of the alien is heart-pounding. Each decision the player makes affects the outcome they face. A slight error and the alien is sure to have them. This necessity of caution places thrilling stress on the player, although not every moment spent in this game is taxing. Along with the periods of stress are times of planning and story development where the player has a chance to relax. These areas of the game are what make the moments of terror all that more enjoyable. At first, Alien Isolation seems like a game with only one enemy, the alien, but a few minutes in, it is discovered that this is not the case. Amanda Ripley is not the only survivor on board Sevastopol Station. She is trapped there along with many others, and they are all just trying to do one thing: survive. Some of the survivors are friendly and will assist the player, but most are edgy and unwilling. Many survivors become enemies and will shoot the player on sight. However, these survivors and the alien are not the only enemies to fear. Along with them, there are countless androids scattered throughout the station that have been reprogrammed to kill. The androids and survivors do pose a large threat, but they are much more inept to finding the player and are killable. The alien, however, is a strikingly intelligent creature, and on top of that, it is impossible to kill. When the player is near the alien, the only way to survive is through stealth. The player must crouch to reduce the noise from their footsteps, stay in shadows and turn their flashlight off, or they can traverse through the complex system of ventilation shafts, although the vents are not off limits for the alien either. When there is no way to sneak around the alien, the player can utilize the crafting system to aid in their escape. Throughout the game, the player will stumble across many seemingly pointless objects: scrap metal, sensors, ethanol, etc. However, these gadgets are the most important items in the game. They are the base ingredients for every gadget the player can craft. The player can then use these gadgets to help distract the alien or other enemies to allow for a window of escape. Aside from the craftable gadgets, the motion tracker is the most useful tool in the game. It is a small handheld device that works as a radar, showing where life forms are located in relation to the player. If the player is not watching it, a beep will sound if something comes into range, which prompts the player to check it and find where the alien or other entities are lurking. The gameplay, as great as it is not perfect. One of the game's biggest drawbacks is that mission structure is generally similar with objectives. Sneak here, hack that, grab that, go back, and complete. It is a noticeable flaw and can make some moments seem tedious and boring, but the intensity of the moments around the alien, along with the varieties in certain areas of the ship, make each mission have a feeling of originality. The moment the player takes their first steps as Amanda Ripley, they begin to notice how the game feels much like Ridley Scott's Alien. From the use of the futuristic retro technology to the film-like musical score, the player feels completely immersed. Sevastopol Station also provides great changes in spacing and scaling, which help the player in immersion. One moment the player will be crawling through a tight ventilation shaft with sparking wires all around, and the next they will step out in a massive lobby with large bay windows showing the gaseous planet below. This sense of scale gives the player the illusion that they really are in space. The game not only feels but looks great. The graphical quality, along with the key aspects of lighting and the use of fog, further the feelings of immersion and fear. The cutscenes are also a great strength with fantastic facial animations. The cutscenes also maintain a fairly equivalent graphical quality as the game, making them feel less like cutscenes and more like in-play content. The only downside to the visuals of the game are the in-game non-playable character animations. When the player interacts with another character, the other character feels rigid and empty. Their mouths are off when they speak, and it can be a distraction for the player. This only applies to other characters, though. The alien itself is beautifully animated, even down to its long, horrendous tail. Sound design is arguably the greatest strength of Alien Isolation. The music is reminiscent of the original Alien movie and instills a sensation of terror in itself. The musical score brings the player in with intense driving strings when there is danger near, and slows the player's heartbeat with a soft melody after they have escaped. This cue of soft music can be one of the best feelings after an impeccably terrifying experience with the alien. The music is also complemented by an astounding collection of sound effects. The creaking of metal I-beams and squeaks of terror far off further convince the player that they are in a trillion-ton space station with an appalling creature on board. Alien Isolation is a testament to the survival horror genre. If you like other survival horror games, the movie Alien, or are just looking to get scared in space, then Alien Isolation is the game for you.